Hi everyone, good afternoon, good morning. We're just going to give it a couple of minutes for any stragglers to join in before we get started.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think we'll get started right now and any stragglers join later on. So good afternoon and again, good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nico Watts. I am the Senior Operations Exec at Gastech and your main point of contact for all information. Um, so just a quick bit of housekeeping. So currently everyone is on mute. You'll be able to unmute later on towards the end of the session where we open up for Q&As. The chat function is available where myself and other members of the Gastech team will be answering any questions that you have throughout the session as well. So just a quick run through for the session. We'll have a conversation from Tanya, who will give you a quick overview of Gastech and where we are. We will then lead over to Kyla, who will talk through your stand plans and what to expect. And we'll finish off with Sophie, who will talk about sustainability and better stands. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Tanya, our VP for Gastech.
Thanks, Nico. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm just coming on because some of you may know, but not everyone, that I've taken over from Simon Ford in the VP Gastech role. So I just wanted to come on and introduce myself. Thank you for your support, and we're really looking forward to working with you in the lead up and on site at Gastech. Just a very, very quick overview of where we are generally with the event. Oh, my slides aren't working. 1 second.
Would like to apologize, everyone. We're just experiencing some technical difficulties. What we'll do while we wait for Tanya, I think, is Tanya back? Again, apologies. I think Tanya is having some technical difficulties right now. So while we wait for Tanya, I think we'll pass over to Kyla and we'll go through our space-only stand plan submissions. So let me bring up this right here. I hope everyone can see my screen. If you can, just give me a thumbs up. That is perfect. So I'll lead over to Kyla to continue.
Hi, I'm Kyla. I will be looking after your stand audits. Many of you've dealt with me before in previous years, along with my colleagues, and we will be helping you to submit all your documentation and ensure that you build safely at Gastech. So my colleagues are Logan and Purity. Again, you may have dealt with them from previous years. And just to go into a little bit about space only. So hopefully all that have joined today have booked a space only stand. And that means that you have you've bought a space and you are responsible for building, walling, flooring, providing electrics for your stand. So basically it is purely a space. So to start off with, dates for your diary. The deadline for the health and safety documentation is the 3rd of July, and this includes the Form 3 space only submission form. This is where you'll upload all your documentation, and this includes your risk assessment, method statement, and stand plans. And if you are a complex, you'd also need to submit structural calculations, which we will go on to in a moment. So your stand will come under two types of stands, either non-complex or complex. Non-complex being up to 4 meters, you haven't got any rigging, so it's a much simpler setup. Or you have a complex stand, which includes building over 4 meters, you've got rigging, you might be a double-decker or duplex stand, but these are all listed in the manual, so you'll know what your stand falls under. So regardless whether you are a complex or a non-complex stand, you will all need to submit risk assessments, method statements, and stand plans. Now, most of your contractors will undoubtedly submit these on your behalf. So they're well rehearsed in submitting risk assessments and method statements, as well as the stand plans. But if you do find yourself without a contractor, or if you're submitting these yourselves, I have got examples I can email over to you. It'll look a little like these slides. So risk assessment is how what risks are involved in the build-up and breakdown of your stand, and the method statement is how you are going to build your stand. But again, we have templates that will give you guidance, as well as templates and examples. So if you pop me an email, I'll be happy to send those over. As for the stand plans, if you can include as much detail on the plans as possible, because this will make it a lot smoother and hopefully a lot easier for you to get your permission to build. So details like the stand height, orientation, dimensions, where your walling's going to be. So all your details of your plan, what you're going to build. So if we need to ask any queries about it, there'll be less to figure out. But we will liaise with you throughout the journey, and liaise with you, your contractors, to get all your documentation in by the deadline. And if you need any guidance, we're happy to assist with that. So what happens if your stand is complex? All that means is you would need to submit extra documentation, like the structural calculations, which you can get from the official structural engineer PICO, and they'll be able to assist with your complex stand. You'd need to submit those to us along with your risk assessments, method statement, and stand plans to get your permission to build. If we can talk about the process of how you submit your documentation, if you upload your Form 3 via the portal, again, these details are given in the manual, how to upload, we will receive those, and then we'll start liaising with you and giving you feedback on your design. If we need any more documentation, or if you need to make some amendments to your design, we will let you know. The next few slides are a few frequently asked questions. So these are questions we've come up across throughout the years that you might not be so familiar with the regulations, or just need a little bit more guidance with. So the first one is your walling. So the rule is 50%. You can have solid walls up to 50% on any given open side. Now this doesn't mean you can do 100% walling on one side because the rest is open. It just means you can have 50% solid walling on each given open side. And there's a couple of exceptions to this rule. You can have walling, but no more than 1.5 meters throughout, or you can do 50% clear glass and 50% solid walling. And if you do go with glass or glazing, please can you ensure that no more than 50% of that clear glass is made up of glazing, and this can be made up of safety dots or examples shown on the slide. Next common question is about banners and rigging. So all rigging is deemed complex, and PICO again is the contractor to assist with rigging. You can rig banners, lighting trusses, decorative items. We just ask that it's the stand is self-supporting and you're not rigging the structure itself. So it must be self-supporting, and the maximum height is 9 meters. But again, this is all set out in the manual if you have any queries. This year, covered ceilings are permitted as long as you include the fire extinguisher for every 30 square meters, and suspensions of ceilings is not permitted. If your plans could ensure that you include any storage rooms, meeting rooms, can they include a vision panel? And these must be clear. So this is a fire regulation. So in a case of emergency, you can see through the door. And if you can ensure that doors do not open onto the gangways or the aisles, this should open onto your stand. So please allow space to allow your door to open outwards, but still remain within your footprint of your stand. There's a couple of height restrictions to be aware of. This doesn't affect many. I've already sent out an email to any stands that this will affect. It's mainly the concourse on 3 meters, but otherwise 9 meters is the height limit. Sorry, to build 6 meters, but rigging 9 meters. If you include a platform on your stand, if you could kindly include the height of your platform, because this will allow us to check whether you need a ramp on your stand, and then just to ensure that there's no sharp edges, so just to display all round your corners. And dressing reverse is a big one. So we want to ensure that you look onto neighbouring stands and you're not looking onto unsightly sort of unfinished walling. This can be upsetting to many exhibitors. Obviously, you've paid money to have stand there. You don't want to be looking onto unfinished stands. So we're asking all space onlys, if you back onto a neighbouring stand, can you please dress the reverse side in a neutral colour with no branding or logos. So this ensures a nice looking show and a nice finished wall. And the last one is, if anyone has a double decker or a duplex stand, please feel free to contact me directly, and we can go through regulations, as there's a little bit more to it. But please feel free, if anyone wants to send your provisional stand plans and you just want to get a few queries out the way before you finalise, then feel free to email me and we'd be happy to look through that. And that is really all for the moment, but if you contact us directly, we will respond shortly. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kyla. I think we fixed the technical issue, so I'll pass it over to our VP, Tanya.
Thanks, Nico, and thanks everyone. I'm sorry about the technical issues earlier. Right, so as I was saying, I've taken over from Simon. It's a real pleasure to be here. I just wanted to give you a really quick update on where we are with Gastech so far. So the event is shaping up really well. We're having record numbers signing up, and the location of Asia is proving to be extremely extremely popular right now. So just a bit of an overview. These are the numbers that we're going for on Gastech. As I said, we are working towards these targets and on track to achieve them. So Asia is our location, taking place in Bangkok, Thailand. We're really, really happy to be there this year. Obviously, there's so much going on in the market right now, and being in Asia makes a lot of sense. We have fantastic support from the Thai government and the ministry, and we are looking forward to welcoming everybody to Bangkok this year. As always, we're going to be welcoming people from around the world, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone from what we're expecting to be these kind of regions. Obviously, the majority coming from Asia, but we're looking at Middle East, Europe, Americas, and there's a real array from the whole of the energy value chain gathering this year, and we're really looking forward to welcoming you all. Just a couple of updates on the floor plan this year. We've got a couple of new features. Electrification is a new area that we're including. Obviously, the location of Asia really lends to this. With demand as it is, it seemed very logical for us to really be covering this area, looking at how gas is feeding power, but also including renewables as well. So please do let us know if you want any more information on this. And of course, we have our co-located event, AIX Energy, which is going to be looking at AI for the gas industry and how it's improving operations, but also AI as a demand center. And I don't need to tell you all how much demand is coming from that and the conversations that are around that and the technology needed. I just wanted to give you a quick update on some of the senior leaders that we've got confirmed. As you know, we have a very, very high profile of people every year at Gastech. I've mentioned the support of the Thai government, which we're very, very honoured to have. There is a new energy minister, His Excellency Prompan, who is very supportive of the event. We have been meeting with him in Bangkok, and we're very grateful for his support. And we're also in touch with the Prime Minister's office as well. So in addition to Thailand, as always, we've got a range of ministers already confirmed at this early stage. And of course, there are many more coming in now. And we've got Egypt, Nigeria, Oman, Senegal, Ghana, countries all around the world looking from both a supply point of view and a buy side point of view. And of course, everyone is so interested to hear from suppliers of gas at the moment, and we're looking forward to welcoming them. We will keep you updated as we get more VIPs coming in. And on here is also just a good indication of other leaders that we have from across the value chain, from companies, private sector, public sector. So I'm sure some of your company speakers are on here, and thank you for your ongoing support. So that's about it. I just really wanted to come on and give you a very, very quick overview. Thank you again for having me. I'm really looking forward to welcoming you to Bangkok. You've obviously got a great team from DMG looking after you, and please don't hesitate to let us know if there's anything you need. Thank you for your support.
Thank you very much, Tanya. And now I will pass it over to Sophie, who will talk through the sustainability from DMG and what we're expecting for Gastech this year.
Hi everyone, lovely to meet you all. Yes, so I am Sophie, DMG Sustainability Manager, and today I'm just going to talk you through a little bit around, our sustainability background, what we're trying to achieve as an organisation, and then specifically what that means for Gastech. So starting off with a little bit to do with the why. So obviously, as a business, we are looking to be as responsible as possible, but specifically, we signed the Net Zero Carbon Events Pledge at COP26 in 2021, alongside many players in the industry, and that is something that we are looking to basically uphold and something we're trying to work towards. So that pledge means achieving a net zero position by 2050. And as part of that, we're looking to collaborate across our supply chain and with our partners. So that's with all of you today. Also measure our emissions and report to the pledge every 2 years. So we're really aligning ourselves with what's set out by the UN and the Paris Agreement and trying to be sort of as credible and responsible as possible. Within our journey, one of the main things we needed to scope out was what our key focus areas are and what we're trying to achieve. So we've decided these are our 5 areas that we're specifically looking into as an organisation, and areas that we also would really appreciate your support on, particularly the conversation of production of waste. So obviously how we put an event together and then what happens to it afterwards. And then also freight and logistics as well as another one that's relevant for everyone today. So how we're bringing things to the event as well, and trying to make that move goods and move items sort of as low impact as possible. So here is some of our milestones. So in order to achieve our ultimate goal of the Net Zero Carbon Events Pledge, we had to set out some milestones and identify some goals for the organisation so that we can sort of demonstrate and set ourselves targets for moving in the right direction. Again, I won't dwell on all of these, but particularly we have our production and waste. So we have a waste target of looking to reduce our waste by 50% from our baseline year that we set in 2024. We also are looking to eliminate single-use plastic, and we're also trying to encourage all of our exhibitors and events to implement sustainable logistics plans. So again, something to reiterate here is the fact that we really would appreciate everyone's support to achieve these targets. It's not something that we can do on our own, and we are very willing and want to have conversations with everyone to establish ways in which we can all improve together. Within our sustainability approach, here are some of the areas that we've sort of what we're doing as an organisation to achieve our milestones and our ultimate goal. So within, again, production and waste, what we're really trying to do as an organisation is look to embed circularity and be more reusable in the way that we deliver our events to eliminate those single-use items, and then also look at the way in which we're handling waste at the end of the event, so maximising as much as possible segregation, so waste management tactics that move us away from landfill, being segregation, recycling and repurposing. We also definitely, for food and food waste, are looking to partner with catering suppliers who can support us, and we can bring local, seasonal, lower impact items to the event, and then also look to divert as much food waste at the end of the event away from landfill through donation or composting. And then also within freight and logistics, looking towards prioritize working local and then using those lower impact transportation methods that I've referred to. So those being consolidation, so trying to reduce the weight of shipment, and then also a sea freight is another great option. It just needs to, sea freight is very good, but we just need to plan accordingly, as it does just take a little bit longer. And then what we wanted to just give you some oversight of was what within all of this is specifically happening at Bangkok this year. So we've got lots of fantastic initiatives happening across Bangkok to really try and minimize our environmental impact and make it as much as possible a super positive social event as well. So we are definitely, some of the key things to pull out here is, as well as having our own targets, we also wanted to work on the areas that are the topics that are an issue for the area. So that being something that we're really trying to focus on is the conversation around single-use plastics. So we really don't want to be contributing to an existing issue. So the way in which we're doing that is by we're really targeting diverting all of our plastic that's produced at our events away from landfill, and then we're going to be working with a partner to repurpose, to then create some really hopefully very positive social impact stories that from the plastic that's produced. We are going to be working with a company called Scholars of Substance to redistribute any leftover food from the event. We also, within the travel piece as well, which is something that we're looking at, we're looking to promote the use of public transport, so using the BTS, which not only is more sustainable, but also means that people aren't going to get stuck and have to deal with a lot of congestion. And then finally, and sort of most relevant for you, is our Better Stands assessment. So that's something that we are going to be completing on site as well for our second year in a row. and it being, again, really linking to the company values and our company targets around reusability and circularity. So we will be, we're bringing Better Stands back, and we're excited to be delivering it with your support. So let's sort of give a bit more outline into the initiative itself. So Better Stands, the goal of Better Stands is to really understand the level of reusability that is achieved at an event, and with the ultimate goal being moving from single use to more reusable, sustainable event designs. So the way in which we're going to be doing this for Gastech, so we will be completing this assessment both on space-only stands, but also incorporating our event our event features as well. So looking into what we're doing as well. The way an assessment is completed, we look into these 10 elements. So as you can see listed in front, we have 10 elements of how we break down a stand. And what we need to see is that all of these elements, well, the top 8 elements are reused for future events. So that's really important. The definition of reusable for a Better Stands assessment is reused for future events as opposed to repurposed. And then the last 2 elements being flooring and graphics, we are happy for that to either be reused or recycled, because we appreciate that that is one of the more difficult elements to reuse. So on site, you will, there are 2. The assessment takes place in 2 sections. We are completing a pre-event survey in which you're going to be giving us your answers to how reusable each of your elements are, and then we will be completing an on-site assessment with a partner where we will be looking at stands through both build and break to confirm your level of reusability and confirm your certificate. So to achieve, as you can sort of see, it's quite easily mapped out here. There are 4 grades. You can either be a disposable stand, bronze, silver, or gold. And so to achieve bronze, you have to achieve the top 4. To achieve silver, top 8, and then gold has to tick the entire box. And then you can really call yourself a zero waste stand, which is also something that's, very, it's a real achievement. It's not something that's easy, but it's something that we are seeing, and we've got some really great examples of some brilliant looking zero waste stands that, you can also shout about. So once we've completed our assessment, we will be we'll be delivering a Sustainable Stand Awards off the back of the results of that. And then we will also then give you a certificate post-event with your final results. And then from that, there is a window where you have a right to reply, where we can have a collaborative conversation around why you achieved the results that you achieved. And then we can also start discussing improvement opportunities as well, because quite often, you might achieve bronze, you might achieve even disposable, and you just have one small element that's let you down, or likewise to go from bronze to silver or silver to gold. So what's really good about this framework is it really helps break it down, as opposed to us saying we want you to be more sustainable. It helps us actually break down, this is where you're missing, this is the missing piece that you're from your stand that will take you to that next level and support not only being a more responsible business, but the event itself delivering less waste, which is ultimately I think a universal goal for everyone. So yes, I think that's pretty much everything to do with Better Stands. Again, I think you've heard a bit about it in any emails from the team from the ops team at Gastech, but also if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Nico.
Thank you very much, Sophie. Before I open up the floor for some Q&As, I've had a couple of questions, one via email and one in the chat. So I think the first one that we'll start off with, is it strict to reuse with other events, or can it be reused for other purposes? For example, can they transform a wooden wall into a cabinet and donate that to a school?
Unfortunately, within the Better Stands framework, that would not count as reusable. So it really is, the Better Stands framework is very strict that it has to be reused for future events. that doesn't diminish the fact that that is a really good initiative. And if reuse for future events just isn't possible, repurposing is the next best thing. But unfortunately, within the best stands framework, it would still be classed as disposable.
Thank you, Sophie. And then another question that came into the chat: with sustainability, are we moving away from aisle carpets? So we're not removing away from aisle carpets. In fact, we're using rewind carpets, which is recycled carpets that are used from previous events, and that's our standard that will be going forward. So now I am currently opening up the floor. You are able to unmute your mic to ask any questions that you like for myself or Sophie, or Kyla, and we'll happily answer. So please raise your hand if you have any questions. Cool. I don't. Oh, yes, Courtney.
Hi. So earlier there was a comment about the fire extinguishers for every 30 square meters. Oh, also, sorry, I manage the USA Pavilion. So we'll have smaller booths within our block or pavilion. So that every 30 square meters of my block requires at least one fire extinguisher.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
And does it have to be, can I house it like in our common booth? Or does it have to be in an exhibitor's booth?
An exhibitor's
Meter
booth.
mark. Exhibitor's booth. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Anyways, do we have any other questions? Okay, I don't think we have any other questions, but before we wrap up, just a quick reminder, as Kyla has mentioned, Stampan's deadline is the 3rd of July. So that's just under a month to go. So please try to submit your stamp plans as soon as you can. If you are having any difficulty or you require any time, please email myself and Kyla so that we are aware and that we are not constantly chasing you for it. Uh, with that as well, also recommending to place your orders for catering, rigging, electrics, as those early bird deadlines are coming soon as well. So please reach out to Pico, Bitech. If you have not received your exhibitor logins, please reach out to myself and I will send them where I can. Yes, Kyla.
Hi, just one last note. I have sent out an email to, hopefully everyone has got that. Just a side note that if you would prefer me to liaise with your contractor directly, if you just can pop me an email to say these are my contractor contact details, I'm more than happy to liaise with them directly rather than emailing you, chasing documents when your contractor's dealing with it already. So if you want to pop me an email with your contractor details, I'll put that on the system and I won't have to chase you unnecessarily.
Thank you so much, Kyla.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, I think the last thing from myself is the next drop-in session will be focused around sponsorship packages, delegates, Scala. So please join us. We'll send out the invite within a couple of weeks. So, and again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or Kyla, and we'll answer any questions that you have. And also, Sophie, if you have any questions on better stands or just how to make your stand more sustainable. Thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you have a
Thank
good
you.
afternoon/day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.